Damian, is this one of those games where you are less disappointed than you are just thinking about turn the page, getting ready for tomorrow? Or are you upset?
I mean, obviously it's disappointing anytime you had that type of loss, but with a game tomorrow, we don't have time to dwell on it or to, beat ourselves up too hard. We know it was a tough game coming in, and I watched, their previous few games, and they have been, not playing the best, and coming back onto their home floor. You had to expect that they was going to come out and try to, have a much better effort and get things turned around at home. And, they played with good pace. They loaded up on the ball, with a lot of the things I was involved in, and they shot the shit out of the ball. So, maybe we could have done some things better, having more of a presence on the ball, being more physical. But they were the better team tonight. They got a lot of shooters out there. You got a guy like Giannis getting downhill, a guy like Drew Holiday getting downhill. So you gotta respect what they can do when they attack, and when they kick it out. They got knockdown shooters out there, and when they shooting the ball as well as they were tonight, we're gonna be up against it. And they ran us out the gym tonight.
Thanks.
Next question is Jason Quick from The Athletic.
Hey, Dame, regardless of how well they shot the ball tonight, you guys this season have been up against it defensively. You don't rank very well.
Where do we rank right now?
28th or 29th. What do you make of that? I mean, because you guys made such a big deal both in the off-season, training camp, and the early season about defense. That here we are in the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, we work. I think the effort is there. I think it's something that we care about. I just think that we don't do the things that we need to do consistently enough. I think that's what it comes down to. If you look at all of our games, you'll see a good first quarter and a good second quarter, and then a bad third quarter and a bad fourth quarter, or a bad start and then a good third quarter and a good half of a fourth quarter and then a drop off. So I think when you look at, our rating, our ranking defensively, that number never lies. But I think if you're somebody watching the game, I think it's pretty self-explanatory that it's not our effort or how much attention we're paying to it. I think it's just a matter of us being able to sustain certain levels of, that defensive intensity and focus and communication. A lot goes into that. And I think it's more issue of that than us, just coming back and being a terrible defensive team. We don't sustain it, for long enough periods of time. And we fortunate enough to be in the position that we're in, to have won more games than we've lost so far this season. And I think because we haven't been a great defensive team the last year or two or three, whatever, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to, the defensive rating. I just focus on, are we winning or are we losing? But I think because of that, people only focus their attention on it. Like, well, defensively, they aren't great. But, we're aware of that. And, we're trying our best and, trying to correct it and trying to win games.
If I can ask one more big picture question, though, if you take one step back, defense, you need defense to win championships.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're about. But you guys are so far away from it. Do you feel any closer to winning a championship than?
I mean, I don't think. No, if we're the defensive team that we've been so far this season, we don't have a chance to win the championship. And
right.
Right now, we aren't a championship team because, you don't have a chance, being one of the bottom teams defensively, and that's just the reality of the situation. And I'm aware of that. I'm not going into these games saying, all right, we can be a bottom ranked defensive team and we can win the championship. I'm not crazy, but my job is to understand that we struggle defensively and to try to be a part of correcting that, each game. So I think that's what what our mentality has been. Is like, you know, we're aware of our struggles defensively, and we know that we're not a championship team right now. But if we sit here and say, all right, we struggling defensively, you know, what do you want us to do? We got to continue to work and move forward and at least make an effort to, you know, become, if we 28th, you know, let's try to work our way to 27th and then 26th. As far as big picture, you know, I'm not in control of, you know, how that happens. You know, I'm just one person, but I do know that I'm someone that needs to be contributing to us making an effort to improve our defense, and that's all I can do. So I think as a group, that's what we try to focus on.
Next question goes to Jamie Hudson, NBC Sports Northwest.
Tonight, Dame, obviously Nasir Little was a big bright spot. How would you describe his game, and what was it like to see him get going like that?
You know, over the last year, Nas has been through a lot. And, you know, just to see him in the gym, you know, this summer when I would be in the facility, you know, he was in the facility, you know, getting up shots. And when we was getting ready to come back, he was working, you know, and I would see him, you know, at other facilities just training. You know, I could tell he was just itching to get back out there because he didn't play in the bubble. So to see him, you know, miss some time at the beginning of the season and then come back, not be in a rotation, and to go out there and have a huge game like he did tonight, I think it's a confidence booster for him. You know, it's good for our team to see him have that type of game. And I think it reminded me of a game last season where, you know, we had a game we struggled and we lost. But GT kind of came into his own at OKC last year. I think he had 32. And it was just like, we lost the game. You know, we weren't in the best place at that time, but we found something, you know, and now he's figured it out. He's a rotation player, and, you know, he's a big part of what we do and a big part of our team. So to see a similar performance from Nas tonight, you know, I think for me personally, I'm looking at it like, hey, we might, this might be it. You know, we might have found another young wing that, you know, can continue with confidence and help our team continue to improve.
Next question, Aaron Fentress, the Oregonian.
Damian, you guys clearly have had some injury issues, but do you still feel that if this team gets healthy, that you still have the personnel to become a better defense?
Definitely. You know, when you shorthanded and you're dealing with injuries the way we are, you end up playing, you know, much younger and less experienced players. And there's a learning curve. You know, the coaches can put in whatever game plan they want, but, you know, certain situations come, and, you know, because of how often I've been on the floor and how long I've been in the league, I recognize it. You know, I don't have to be the world's greatest defender, but in certain situations that I can get by and I can handle because I just recognize situations and I recognize terms and I know personnel. I know what guys like to do just from my experience on the floor. And when you lose that, you know, it just makes it, you know, that's one more hurdle. You know, you got younger and less experienced players that have to go through that learning curve. They got to figure it out through their experience. So I think them getting this experience is going to make them grow as players. You know, it makes them, it gives them a better, more ability to come in the game and help the team and impact games when we get healthy. And you add, you know, CJ, and you add Nurk, and then you get Zach, and, you know, you put all these guys who have the experience and, you know, have been on the floor in big minutes and have been around. And now you have young players who were forced to grow and come along. So now they're coming into the game as different players, basically. And I think